Continuing on in section 5.2, here I have subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and switch from subtraction to adding and take the opposite of what follows. So what I have here is 4 1/5 plus negative 2 3/5. I'm going to go ahead and switch these to improper fractions from mixed numbers. So I take denominator times whole number plus numerator. 4 times 5, 20, plus 1, 21 over 5. Plus, the negative just stays, and I only worry about my number parts here. 5 times 2 plus 3, 13 over 5. Now, since I have a common denominator, I can go ahead and keep that denominator and perform the operations on my numerator. So 21 plus negative 13. Different signs, so we subtract, give the sign of the bigger number. So positive 8 over 5. Since 8 is bigger than 5, it's more than, we have to divide to switch us back to a mixed number. So 5 goes into 8 one time, which is 5. We subtract and get 3 as our remainder. So this becomes 1 and 3 over 5. So 1 3/5. And 8. Again, I have subtraction, so I'm going to change to adding the opposite of what follows. Instead of being a positive 6, now it's a negative 6. So I have negative 3 2/7 plus negative 6 3/7. I'm going to go from mixed numbers to improper fractions. Denominator times whole number plus numerator. 7 times 3 plus 2 is 23 over 7. And because that's negative, we make it negative. Plus, same thing here, 7 times 6 plus 3 is 45 over 7. And because that's negative, we make it negative. So that negative doesn't factor in to switching this 6 3/7. It's a label afterwards. Now we have a common denominator. So I keep it as 7, and I can go ahead and perform the operations on my numerator. So negative 23 plus negative 45. Because I have the same signs, I can go ahead and add these up, give that common sign, and now we can divide. Because 68 is greater than 7, we divide. So 68 divided by 7. 7 goes into 68 9 times, which is 63. Subtract, and we get 5 as our remainder. So we get negative 9 and 5 over 7. So negative 9 and 5/7 is our answer here. In example 4, we are simplifying variable expressions. So these we're going to work the same way. We have a common denominator and we're adding. So we can go ahead and keep our denominator, add our numerators. So 3a plus 5a. 3a plus 5a are like terms because they have the exact same variable part. So I can keep my variable, add my numerators, add my coefficients. 3 plus 5 gives me 8, and we keep that denominator. The last thing we want to do is try and simplify if we can. So between 8 and 20, my number parts here, my greatest common factor is 4. So I can divide them both by 4. And that's going to give me 2a over 5. In B here, I have subtraction, so I'm going to change to adding and take the opposite of what follows. So I actually have negative 8 over 3b plus 2 over 3b. Here, I have a common denominator, so I keep it as 3b, and I perform the operations on my numerator, negative 8 plus 2. That's going to give me different signs. So we subtract, give the sign of the bigger number, over 3b. Now, between 6 and 3, my greatest common factor is 3. So I can divide top and bottom by 3. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. 3 divided by 3 is just 1b. We don't necessarily need the 1 there, so we could just do negative 2 over b, because 1 times b is itself. So again, we treat those the same way. We just keep our variables there and combine things if they're like terms. So in A, we combined like terms. In B, it was in our denominator, so it just stayed in our denominator. And that's all I have for section 2.5.